Welcome to Just CHOPSING podcast. And we're with my cousin David, as always, and our very special guest. Fucking hell, I can't even remember your name now. I know your name, Steve Cat.
I
was looking. I got Chris Cat, Steve Cat, but this one is Steve Cat.
Yeah.
And you are from Last of the Misfit Heroes, who are a three-piece band from South London.
That's the one.
Okay, formed in 2019, were you, Steve?
Yeah, that's it. April 19 we got together. So we've been not together that long, but then obviously we've had a bit of a break in between with lockdown and everything else. So it's been a bit of a full start at the moment, but we're getting there.
Yeah. I mean, we've spoken to a few bands recently that sort of joined, sort of formed in the late stage of 2019, or they've added some members, and then 2020 was a bit of a washout.
Yeah, totally.
With the COVID problems and stuff.
Yeah, well, we were sort of quite lucky really, because we at the beginning of 2020 we recorded our debut EP, so we sort of had that to promote when everything locked down. But then we had about 10 gigs lined up, sort of going into the summer of 2020, and obviously they all got cancelled. And then so what we did in August of 2020, we went back in the studio and recorded another 6 songs and released the album earlier this year. So we've been trying to keep ourselves busy on that side of things, rather than obviously being able to gig. So
okay, so your first single was called Wake Up Call, was it?
Yeah, that's right. That was we recorded that actually earlier in August 19. That was we sort of came together in the April, and then by August we thought we'd just go straight in the studio and record that song, and it worked out really well. It sort of we did it quite quickly. We recorded in a couple of hours just to sort of knock it down, and we're quite happy with how it all turned out. And so that was the basis. And then we actually did a gig the week after in Croydon, like a hometown sort of gig, and that went down really well. And we went from there really, and started writing some more songs, got a few gigs in, and then, like we said, got to 2020, and everything sort of came to a bit of a halt there.
Yeah, it took a bit of a turn, but you keep it in the family then, because Chris, I believe, is your cousin, is he?
He is, yeah. It's funny really, because we've not really played in bands before. This was the first one. I've always known he's played drums, but we've never sort of come together in a band before. So it's quite nice to get him to sort of come along and do it. And then on bass is my best mate, who I've known Ange since we were 5 years old. So we've sort of grown up together, playing guitars together. We've played in loads of bands together. So when I was thinking of putting the band together, he was the obvious member. And then we just got Chris on the drums, and it's all sort of gone from there, really. So
right. So what sort of bands were you playing in before? Just like local cover bands, or?
Not really. I've always played in original bands. I mean, when we go, showing my age now, but we started playing sort of Iron Maiden songs back in the sort of early 90s, and Metallica songs, and me and Andrew in a thrash band called Leviathan, and I think our claim to fame was we got a little piece in Kerrang at the time, and so that was good fun. But then over the years, I've played in lots of different bands, sort of punky bands, a hardcore band as well. I mean, it's just playing lots of different styles. I think that's the bit I enjoy about music, is creating, and the songwriting side of it is what really appeals to me. So I'd rather play those sort of bands than playing sort of cover bands. I mean, they're good fun, but it's just not for me. I'd rather pick a guitar, write a song, and see how it grows really.
Right, okay. So you're not worried about the money then?
No, if I was worried about money, I'd be doing something else. So I'm not sure exactly how much the music owes me, to be honest. It's I've definitely not taken anything from it. So
that's the trouble, isn't it? I mean, if you get in a decent wedding band or a decent covers band, you can earn a few quid,
You can do, you can do. Yeah, and I have sort of thought about it, but to be honest, it's never really that appealed to me, and I think the thing with this band, that when we came together, it's all very. We didn't really have a plan. It was just I've got a few ideas for songs, and we wanted to get together and play, and so it's sort of grown organically, if you like. We haven't really sort of planned it, and I think that's the exciting bit, really, is seeing where it goes and where we can take it. So yeah, so I much prefer that side. I could have. I've actually done a couple of weddings as a sort of a stand-in, but it's okay, but it's not for me. It's not for me.
Yeah. I mean, okay. I mean, I listen to some of your stuff, and where do you get your inspiration from then? Because I can hear bits of the Damned in it. I mean, your voice is very Dave Vanian-ish, I suppose,
Oh, okay.
on the recordings. Bit of Joy Division in there and stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of sort of older British bands, sort of the Stranglers, Clash, that sort of thing. I do like a lot of the older punky stuff. Even bands like Squeeze, and I like them a lot. So that sort of era, yeah, there's definitely bands in there. But then, like I said, when I grew up sort of playing, a lot of stuff I was listening to was heavy metal, really, like the traditional heavy metal. I think my first real inspiration to pick up guitars was seeing Richie Blackmore in Deep Purple. You know, there's a video of him at California Jam where he blows up the stage, and there's like 300,000 people there, and it's if you were to sort of look up Rockstar, that was it. That was him blowing things up, and so there's definitely that side of it, and then there's the punky side, and I think even the grungy side as well. I mean, growing up in the 90s, really, the American bands like Nirvana and Alice in Chains, those sort of bands, there's definitely a lot of influence from that as well. So we try and, we don't really, it's an interesting one when we write, because I mean, I mainly write the songs, but I don't really I just sort of show it to the other two and then let them do what they want to do, really. So it's, I suppose, being a three-piece as well, it's quite nice. You can sort of put your own sort of stamp on the song, and we don't really sort of stick to sort of styles, or we try not, we don't even talk about it. We just sort of put it in and just have a jam with it and see where it goes. So some songs, I mean, Pieces is on the album is a bit of a strange one, really, because it's got a sort of a ska feel to it, and some of the beats it's like an offbeat disco beat going on. And it sounds, when you say it like that, sort of ska and offbeat disco, it doesn't make sense. But when you put it all together, we've got quite a nice little punky song out of it. So yeah, so we don't try and stick to. We never sort of say to ourselves, "Oh, we're going to write a punk song or a grunge song or anything." We just see how it goes. I think the stuff, obviously being in lockdown, I've pretty much written the next 2 albums. I think, just had so much time to do it, and but a lot of that is going to be more rocky. I'd say it's more heavier, rockier, a bit darker as well. We're still going to have the quick sort of punkier type songs in there, but some of the songs are getting longer now and they're getting a bit darker. And we've actually just recorded an acoustic version of As the Water Runs. We did that last Friday. So again, that totally changes the whole feel of the song. And I don't know. Someone said it had a Johnny Cash feel to it. So again, I'm a big Johnny Cash fan as well. So there's so many different influences I take, and probably without knowing it, they just sort of, they're all in there. They just sort of let them come out, to see how it all goes, really.
So when you said that the newer stuff is a bit darker, is that as a result of maybe your emotion during lockdown, perhaps?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, really, sort of going back to the beginning of how this band came about, I had actually had my own issues with mental health. Probably January 19. Okay. I'd let things sort of get out of hand, really. I hadn't been looking after myself mentally or anything. And so basically this band was a bit of, I suppose for me, a bit of a therapy to get myself back into get myself into a position where I could sort of function, really. I mean, it was pretty bad. It got to the point where, I mean, this is the strange thing when I talk about it now, because the person I am now, like 2 years ago, I couldn't even sort of leave the house. It was that bad. And in a way, it was hard. But I think from that, I then used it or tried to use it in a positive way with the songwriting and the songs. I mean, a lot of the subject matter is about mental health. I mean, even sort of Creating Monster, the first song on the album. I mean, that's probably the most personal song I've written, and it's sort of starting at the beginning of how I've sort of told myself all this negative stuff over the years, and you let it build up, and it takes over and it controls you, and you get to a point where it just gets too much. Luckily for me, I put my hands up at the right time and sort of said that I need help. And I'm fortunate I was in a position where I had support around me. So I basically spent the next 8 months sorting my head out and getting myself back into a position where I could go to work again. I could just do normal things, or just talk to people, and it was a real again, sort of wake up call comes from that. You know, the first song we wrote, there's a line in there about, you know, it's okay to break down. And it's me telling myself, you know, it's okay to go through this, because at the end of it, you are going to get through it. And I think even just like being able to do things like this now, you know, talking to you guys and being able to get our songs played on the radio and just being able to connect with people. I would never have been able to do this like 2 years ago. It's just so it's so the darker songs, I think they're always going to be there. And even our upbeat sort of songs have always got a bit of a dark undertone as well. So there's definitely, I don't think we'll ever lose that sort of side of it, but I think there are ways you can deal with it, and there's ways around it. And it's like you say, especially what everyone's been through, you know, with the pandemic and everything, it's going to affect everyone, you know, in different ways and to different degrees. But it's definitely something that mental health, I mean, what I've learned is that it's just as important as your physical health. You know, if you can't, I mean, to be honest, mental health comes before physical health. If you can't tell yourself you can run or you can do any exercise, you're not going to get there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so it's so important as well. I think just to be able to talk about it and just be able to sort of be able to talk about it and get it out of my system as well. I mean, that's the great thing with songwriting. But what I hadn't noticed at the time, but I was sort of building up to that early January 19, I was playing in a band which wasn't doing a lot, and I'd actually probably given up songwriting, not consciously doing it, but there's a whole load of things I'd stopped doing, which I previously got enjoyment out of, which I hadn't really noticed. I was just going along with the everyday thing, and then once you start looking at it, thinking, well, what is it I want to get out of music? What is it I enjoyed, you know, when I was 13, 14, listening to Deep Purple and Iron Maiden? What is that you know, that bit that I want out of music? And once you find that again, then you slowly build up again, and that's how the band's sort of grown. Really, we're not doing it to make, like we're saying, about money or anything like that. There's no money in it, for us at the moment, and it's not something we're really looking to do. But what we are looking to do is just keep creating and keep putting our music out. And I suppose that's the good thing with like the internet now. You know, I can have conversations with you, and we can put stuff on Spotify, we can put stuff on YouTube, and it gives us a wider reach, if you like, which, you know, when I was playing bands 20 years ago, whatever, you never had. You know, you had lots of people come and see you at gigs, local gigs, but we never had, you know, a reach where I could like talk to you in different countries, and you could talk to different, I've done a few interviews in America and, you know, in California and stuff, and it's great, you know, and we can talk about it. And so there is definitely that side of it, which we enjoy. So
so was it just a build-up, or was it something that happened overnight? Or
no, I think it was a build-up. I think a lot of it was to do, I think looking back now, looking at my job, I mean, I've done accounts for years, and accounts and playing in a band, being a creative person, the two don't go. I mean, it's obvious when you look at it now, you think, oh, that doesn't make sense. And you're right, it doesn't make sense. So I think what I've learned now is that I can do accounts, and I can, as long as there's a balance, I've got everything balanced, you know. So as long as I'm writing songs, I'm playing, I'm being creative, then the other side I can deal with as well. But when you go through all that, you sort of, you put things in perspective, and a lot of the small stuff that really knocks you down is so small, you know, in the big scheme of things, you know. But it's just starting from scratch again, really. That's all I had to do. I had to sort of go back to work out exactly what I wanted out of life, what I wanted out of the band, what I wanted out of just everything, really. And then,
just take a look at yourself, reevaluate, and
exactly, and things that, and the things that I was doing before, you know, just trying to, you know, get them out of my life. You know, not working ridiculous hours. You know, not checking my phone at weekends for work and things like that. You know, they sound small, but they build up, and they just take over. And and it's in. I think balance is definitely the word. Really, it's just like trying to keep everything on a level. You know, but it's definitely an important conversation to have with people. I mean, like I said, I was lucky really, because I put my hands up at the right time. Touch wood. It actually got worse when I put my hands up, because then you open up a whole different can of worms, thinking, is there something Is it serious? Is this really serious? Am I ever going to work again? Am I ever going to? And fortunately for me, I've found ways of getting around it. I've just got to be careful, and I think I just check in on I just make sure I'm doing the right things all the time, and just being careful, because I mean, I like a drink every now and then, and as long as that drink doesn't then become a problem, or I'm drinking for the wrong reasons. You've had a rubbish day, I'm going to have a drink, but I'm going out with my mates, so I'm having a good night. It's such small little things, but they make such a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, David and myself both have issues, we could say. You're not going to cry there, are you, Dave?
No.
Okay, I thought I saw a tear in your eye.
Sorry, Dave. Yeah.
No, we both suffered a little bit with some different issues and anxiety and some mental. I mean, I had a huge breakdown a long time ago, and
right.
Yeah, it is, and at the end of it, you do just look at yourself and especially with me, and I thought, what the fuck are you doing? Like, pick yourself up, brush yourself off, and fucking sort yourself out. Like, So
it's hard, isn't it? I mean, I think that's that. I mean, I don't know about you, but I had a real sort of battle going on in my own head, really. Like, how much of it is me just not wanting to work? I don't like accounts. But then how much of it is actually an issue, like a real mental issue? And I was beating myself up for months after I sort of put my hands up. I was thinking, well, how have I let myself get to this position where I can't work and I can't, and then you start questioning yourself, why am I doing, how have I just let this happen, And then I think what I've realised is that that no one can really say anything to you that worse than what you can say to yourself. And once you realise that, then everything becomes a bit easier. I've found anyway. But it's and I think, like we're saying with the pandemic and everything, it's really going to push people, and it's going to be hard for a lot of people, especially like jobs and just normal everything we took for granted before. Even like gigs. I mean, I think even now we're talking about doing gigs, but I think ticket sales for one of our gigs was very slow. People, it's hard because people have been locked away for so long. They don't. It's not their fault. They don't. If you've been taken away for that long, and you're still worried about what's going on, because obviously on the 19th of July, even though things are going to change and we may not have to wear masks and stuff, COVID's not going to disappear and everything. And you've had it, knocked into your head for so long, saying this is how you've got to be and this is how it is. It's going to take people a while to get back into that sort of whole routine of thinking, this weekend I'll go and see a band, or and it's hard. It's definitely hard.
I haven't minded it too much, really. I mean, I get anxious when I go out anyway.
Right.
And I saved a fuckload of money, so.
There is that. Yeah, definitely. Definitely ever missed paying like £6 a pint in London or something. It's just.
£6 a pint in Eindhoven, so I'm missing out there.
So it's £3 a pint in Wales.
How much?
£3. £3.
You're tempting me to come back, Dave, except I don't drink anymore.
Yeah, in spoons. Go to Wetherspoons, is dirt cheap. It's probably even cheaper than that sometimes.
Yeah, you get a free breakfast with it as well.
Yeah, you do actually. I think what you were saying is, I think a lot of people are going to be nervous because everybody's been at arm's length for so long as well. So, I haven't been out the house without a mask on. I don't even recognize people when I walk past them in the street now because you only see their eyes. So, if I see somebody that I know, I don't tend to stop and chat with them like I used to, because you just can't get that close and talk and stuff. So it's going to be strange, but
definitely, it's going to take a while, isn't it, to sort of get back to being able to just have conversations. I mean, it's the thing. Like now, I'm quite comfortable sitting here talking to you on the phone. You're in different rooms in different countries, and I'm quite comfortable doing this. Like 2 years ago, I just wouldn't want to do it. But I suppose you have to sort of change with the time. You just have to try and do the best you can, I suppose. But I know what you mean about feeling anxious and things like that. I mean, touch wood, I haven't. When everything went a bit wrong, I basically wasn't looking after my depression. But then I sort of anxiety sort of kicked in, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone. It's just Yeah, it was horrible. I've never experienced anything like it.
That's not good.
No,
I mean,
no.
If we go out to dinner, if I go out to dinner with my girlfriend, I'm sat there, I'm looking around me all the time, and if I'm in a bit of a crowded space, I'm fidgety, and it's not good.
Yeah, I've never. Yeah, I don't. I think this is the problem as well, isn't it, with anxiety as well? Because I think it affects people in different ways to different degrees. And I mean, what I just couldn't, when my sort of anxiety kicked in, I just couldn't connect to anything. I just felt totally lost in a space, even if no one was around me. But even if people were around me, I just couldn't connect to anything. I couldn't sort of ground myself, and it was just it was horrendous. But
it's a weird thing.
It's not great. But I think for me, sort of going through the depression and stuff. If I keep my depression controlled, or if I'm aware of it, then the anxiety seems to be okay. But I think the anxiety.
Yeah, I find if I start getting a little depressed, it sort of flares up a little bit more. So.
So but it's good to be aware of these things, though. That's the main thing, I think.
Well, I think you need to be honest. I mean, once you've been through a breakdown or whatever, and you've had that knock, because it gives you a big knock in your confidence as well,
Oh, totally.
And once you've had that knock, I mean, it's really tough to actually reevaluate yourself. And it takes time, so it's just one of them things that, without really looking, I think you have to look into yourself to know yourself, I suppose.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I think, it's very easy. Yeah, you sort of lose yourself a bit, don't you? And then,
you do. Yeah, you go fucking way off.
Yeah.
And it's not nice. And it's not nice for the people around you either, to be honest.
No. I mean, that's,
They're saying, oh, what's wrong with you? Or it'll all look better tomorrow, and all the usual cliches, and
no, that's right. And it's hard, isn't it, because people, it's really hard because everyone is so different as well. I mean, this is the thing, I suppose, like with physical health, if we all broke our legs now, we'll all get treated the same way. And you sort of know, but you can see what you're dealing with, you know what you're dealing with, but with things going on up there, you just don't know. You don't know yourself what's going on. So then to try and tell someone else what's happening, it's horrible. You just don't. It just takes time. It takes time, like you say, to get to know yourself again, and get yourself to a position where you feel comfortable.
Yeah. Got to learn the triggers and identify them as early as possible, like you said, and
exactly,
and try and cut them off, isn't it, before they happen.
Yeah, this is it. And I've found with music, definitely, I can, it definitely takes you to a place. I can definitely get, if I'm feeling down or something, I can always listen to the certain songs or certain albums. I'll go back to like that Deep Purple one, actually, the Burn album. That's the first album I really got into. And I can always go back there, and it just for like half an hour or something, you just lose yourself, and it's just a bit of a break, really. So
music for that.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah, and probably you'll probably find doing this as well, like doing these podcasts and stuff. It takes you out of the normal, everyday stuff. So you're having conversations you probably wouldn't have with other people as well, and things like that. It's great. I mean, I love doing this now, talking to like new people and different DJs and different stations, and just being able to talk to people. It's a nice feeling, really.
Yeah. I mean, I think David enjoys it more than I do.
I know what he's going to, and I get very fanboyish,
right?
And it's I don't know what it is, but it's just I get a bit, because we've had a couple of people on that I've been a bit starstruck on. So even we had one of our very, very early ones. We had Right Said Fred on.
Oh, right.
It's not my genre music as such. Do you know what I mean? Because it's very pop music and stuff. But it's just awesome to, when you've got people that are on the telly and they've been on Top of the Pops and then they're telling you a story. It was really good. But I thought I held that one quite well, to be honest. But I can see, because obviously now we've got the split screen. Every now and again, I take a glance at Terry and I can see him chuckle into himself as I'm talking. And I know what he's thinking. But so
I'm just enjoying myself.
It is
You know
good.
me.
It is good. So like I said, we've really enjoyed doing these, and
Yeah.
you know, like Terry said, we've both had our issues, and for me, my kind of like go-to has always been music, and the big one for me, because I didn't like being in crowds and stuff. So for me, going to gigs, and I've got to be at the front, in the middle, next to the mic stand. So
Right.
for somebody that doesn't like being in crowds, or maybe like suffers with claustrophobia or something, you've got to get over it. Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of like where I always am. So, you know, I always say to the missus, you know, I think I'll stay at the back of this one. I remember going to a Reef concert upstairs, and I said, oh, come on, we'll have a look upstairs. So I went upstairs and we were having a look. And when I looked down, there was nobody at the front. And she went, going down here, and I was like, yeah. So I ended up down there anyway. So wherever I go, I've got to be at the front and getting involved, because I like that interaction with the band. Do you know what I mean? Because everybody thinks if they wink or something, you know, everybody in the front row thinks it's to them and all that. Do you know what I mean? So I just like all that. It's brilliant.
Oh, definitely, yeah. There is something a bit special, isn't it, with gigs and stuff, when you can connect like that. It's great.
Yeah,
David's made some great friends simply by doing that, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't just mean friends in the crowd. I mean, he's made some great friends on stage as well, you know, and like Toby Jepson and a few other quite big names in the rock music world.
Oh, that's great.
So I mean, now they just think he's a stalker. So
right.
They know I'm a stalker. They just got over it, I think. And that's the thing now, you know, that as the venues are starting to open, there's a bit of me. I've spoken to Terry about it before. I'm really excited about getting back to the gigs. But there's the other element, because of this COVID and stuff, and my wife's little cousin, well, I say little, she's 28, but she's a lot younger than me. She's just contracted COVID now in the last week. So thinking, man, do you know what I mean? It's still about, because it has been really, really quiet around here, in fairness. And then it gives you a bit of a reality check again. Then, in it, you think, oh, it's still about, and there's still a chance. But you know, I've been double jabbed now, and you know, I'm still going to carry on being as careful as I can. But I can't wait to see, you know, like Terry said, my mates in the crowd and my mates on stage and things like that, you know. So I can't wait to open up.
I think, you're right. I think that when we were all locked down before, that's what I missed as well. It's just even just having band practices, you know, just that, you know, getting together with the other two and just being able to even just have a chat, you know, you miss all that. It's difficult. And like you're saying about family as well. I mean, I've got quite a big family of cousins and everything else, and I've seen a few of them, but not really. I haven't seen them for 18 months or so. So it's going to be a bit strange, sort of going back and seeing people again, really.
Yeah, so it's I think it's going to be funny. It's going to be funny, but at the same time, I'm looking forward to it, because you know it's going to be back to normal. So kind of like I was furloughed off work for maybe 4 months. And my wife worked all the way through it, and we got a hot tub. So I was basically sat in the hot tub at 12 o'clock drinking. Do you know what I mean? And then I remember coming down the one day, and it was like 11 o'clock, and I said, is it too early to start drinking? And she's like, working on a laptop. What are you on about? Do you know what I mean? So you sort of like get into a bit of a rut and a routine, which ain't great. Do you know what I mean? I know it's not good for you and stuff, but you know, it was kind of like unprecedented times, and I'll never be able to do that again. I mean, I'm not going to be crack a can of beer open at 11 o'clock and sit in a hot tub anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I just made the most of it. But
that's right. Like you say, you've got to try and look at it from the positives, haven't you, and take the positives from it. And like I was saying, I mean, I'm actually on my third job now, I think, since the pandemic started. So I was made redundant then. There's short contracts and things like that. So I'm actually in a third job, but like I say, you take the positives from it. At least I'm sort of working, even though it's like, you know, don't know how long I'll be there, but I've managed to work through it. But like I was saying, with the music sort of side of it, it did give me the first few months gave me loads of time just to be able to write, which you never get, you know, normally. You just you know, with work, if you like in your normal day working and then family and fitting gigs in and doing other bits and pieces, you never get time just to sit down for a few days and just write, and that was quite nice. That was good.
Most of the people we've had on have said that they've had chance to reflect and be more creative, And they've had the time, like you said, to to put pen to paper, whereas ordinarily they perhaps would have been out gigging. Because they haven't been able to do that, they've been in and trying out different things on their guitars, or trying out different sounds and writing down lyrics. So it's good. I know there's going to be a whole raft of music waiting for us when we get back out into the clubs and pubs and stadiums and what have you.
Yeah, it should be quite exciting. It's been quite good, really, because I've been sort of looking over like sort of new bands as well, discovering quite a few new bands as well while I've been in lockdown. So there's a couple of bands. Saint Agnes, I've really got into them. They're really good. But there's this American band, Electric Howlers. They get like 6 monthly listeners on Spotify, something stupid. But they're fantastic. I probably wouldn't have discovered them if I hadn't been in lockdown, sort of thing. But they're amazing. So that's been good. That's been quite good. Like just getting sort of seeing what's going on and discovering new music. That's been really good.
Yeah, I tend to find my new music through going to gigs. So it'll be
right.
I always turn up early and always make sure that I'm there for the support act as well.
Yeah.
And the amount of bands that I found who are support acts, and then I end up following them.
Yeah.
And then they became the main actor, which is pretty cool. And also festivals. But the other thing is from doing this. So, we Terry's contacting lots and lots of people and getting different guests on.
Yeah.
And the result of that, then I've started following, their music as well. So, having these chats with you guys, do you know what I mean? Hopefully you'll be doing a gig nearby to me, and I'll be able to come to play, do you know what I mean? So that's what.
Yeah, we've come across quite a lot of bands now, haven't we?
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah. And they all seem to be playing in the Patriot in Crumlin. So you need to put that down on your diary, because there's going to be a mass party in November and December in Crumlin virtually every weekend, I think.
Okay. Is that the bikers pub down there, the Patriot?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to try and get down there.
Yeah. Everybody seems to be playing it, don't they, Tess? So it's definitely the place to be.
Yeah. We know where to come.
So your debut album then is called Hope for the Hopeless.
Yeah.
And as you said, it covers a lot of your mental health issues.
Yeah.
And some social issues, I guess.
Yeah. We sort of there's a couple of songs on there. Pulling Punches was one that sort of covered. It doesn't go into too much detail, but it's more about I suppose with all that what was going on in America mainly. When like you had Trump with the election, I suppose, and people storming the Capitol building, and then you had Black Lives Matter sort of taking over Seattle and things like that. And it was more, it wasn't having to go at anyone particularly, but it's just more about how politics is just getting so sort of divisive, just how you're either on one side or the other, and there's no sort of middle ground. And it was just sort of saying about the whole thing with Pulling Punches was just sort of saying, taking a step back and sort of stepping back from it and saying, no, I'm not really interested anymore. I'm never going to be passionate enough to go out and want to burn something down, or want to beat someone up because they don't agree with what I agree with. And it's quite scary. It's quite a sort of scary way the world's sort of going, really. It was at the time, but it still feels a bit strange in that way. But so it's more it is a political song, but it's more of a sort of an anti whole establishment. It's not if you're left, if you're right, whatever. It is just the whole thing. System's a bit of a mess.
Yeah. Well, the system's a bit flawed anyway. I mean, they've got this ballot paper with, for example, 2 names on it, and they should actually have, say, apart from the 2 boxes that are on it, they should actually have a box that says none of the above, and then you can tick that, and you can throw the whole fucking mess out.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then throw the whole thing into turmoil, and then see where they go from there, because the system's fractured.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, I think the last election I didn't vote, and not because I don't want to vote. It's because there's nothing to vote for. Neither party or major party, or even the smaller parties are even. I just don't feel connected to it in any way.
So I should have none of the above on there. And then,
exactly.
I exactly the same as you, Steve. I didn't vote because there's no point voting ordinarily for the smaller parties, and the 2 major parties had a pair of knobheads in charge of them. So I was kind of like, I didn't trust Boris. I think he's pretty much come through with that, really. and I didn't like the
You mean you still don't trust him?
No, and I didn't like the ideas of the other fella either, whose name escapes me now. Corbyn.
Oh, the Corbyn.
Yeah, I didn't like Corbyn either. So
yeah.
I just didn't bother in the end. You know,
Yeah.
I felt in a way, I feel as if like I can't really complain about it because I didn't vote for either of them, but I'm still going to complain about them.
Yeah.
And the reason, because I felt I couldn't vote. So, you know, that was kind of like my complaint, really.
Yeah. I think that's the sad thing, really. It's the whole system, like you say, the whole system's flawed. You know, it's just it is a mess. It's a total mess, and I think especially over this pandemic, you see it even more and more. I mean, like when Matt Hancock resigned because he got caught out having having an affair, whatever. He resigned because of that. He didn't resign because of the fact of the amount of people that died because of the mess that he made. You know, and you think, what? It's a nonsense. It's a complete nonsense. So,
I mean, it was staged.
I think people are out to get him, and I don't know, but that's the thing though. These people get away with like corruption across the board. You know, giving out their contracts to their mates. They can do what they want.
Yeah, and they do what they want.
Allegedly.
Yeah, but as soon as someone uses someone else,
allegedly, we have to say.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't want to get you boys in trouble.
Well, I did have a rant the other day about Pratt Hancock because you know all the shit he's been spouting for all that length of time. And to be fair, do you know what? I followed all those rules to a T. I'll be completely honest. You know, if we're not allowed people in, we've not had them in. So I didn't see my parents for months on end. I didn't see my kids for months on end. So I followed all that. And then you've got him dipping his wick in somebody, which he shouldn't be when he's got a family at home and putting his family at risk and his wife and his children. And and he's saying you've got to protect the NHS, which, you know, I followed the T, and those guys do a magnificent job. And then he's just making a mockery of it all. So, you know, and that's what I said to Terry. When he resigned, he should have been sacked, and he should be on the dole queue with his P45 looking for
Well, I mean, it's just like I was saying, the whole thing. I mean, he was lying about well, I don't know if he's lying, but the whole thing with the allegedly the PPE thing as well, where he was saying it was a distribution problem, where the hospital was saying there wasn't PPE. So he's basically just saying everyone else is wrong. This is how it was, and no one's pulling him up on it, and he's getting away with it, and he got away with it until he got caught doing something which, in the big scheme of things, is quite small compared to
it's insignificant, really.
Yeah,
it really is, because I don't care what he does. You know, it's not nice for his wife because he's obviously a slime ball. There's plenty of them on the planet that I'm not gonna, you know, chastise or whatever. But it's just, you know, what he was spouting for all those months, and then he ended up, you know, doing that. But
you need to be a slime ball to be a politician, don't you?
I think allegedly, I think it helps.
Well, this is going to be the problem, isn't it? Because any decent person who wants to get into politics and actually make a difference, I think they're not going to get anywhere.
No.
If you're a decent person, you're going to get shouted down within 2 minutes, and then if you want to get somewhere, you then, like say, have to become a slime ball and have to pay the right people and do what you have to do. And
that's how it works, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And that's like you're saying there about the whole system being flawed. That's exactly the problem. You know, and you're never going to get any decent person wanting to going to get to the top, because you can't be decent in it. It's just nasty.
So, just vote for Joey Exotic for president. He's the man. Just get Joey.
Bring his tigers along. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. Or we need a Welsh Arnold Schwarzenegger for to be in charge of Wales. Maybe, I don't know what that could be.
Maybe a Tom Jones. What about Tom Jones?
Right.
He's a bit old now. I think he's even older than Biden, isn't he?
Nah, he's got to be younger than Biden. He can still move his lips. Biden look like he needs crutches and stuff. That guy.
Again, that whole American thing was just bonkers. It's like two old blokes, pissed up blokes in a pub somewhere, and they're running the biggest country in the world. It's like, what?
Scary, you know.
And that system is definitely flawed. You know, they should have like a committee or something running that country, not a one man. You know, that's not a one man show. Like, well, it's not really a one man show anyway, is it?
No. He was cheated. Do you know what I mean? And you know, you got to believe Trump, haven't you? Bless him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Exactly. Stitched up, buddy.
But he's running again, isn't he?
Is he? Oh,
yeah. He's going to run again. Yeah. If he's not in jail, that is. But
Yeah, well, this is it. Yeah, but it's the thing; they don't get away with it, and and he can come back and have another go. Which is
he's gonna have another go with it.
Yeah, but we nicked one of his. It's quite good for Bombs on the album. We nicked one of his little speeches as an intro. I think it's when he was calling out. What's the Korean guy? Kim.
Kim
Jong-un.
Yeah, and he called him Rocket Man. But we Little Rocket Man or whatever it was.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
So that was quite funny.
I've noticed on a couple of your songs you've got little intros on there, because the first one we said Creature one you've got a bit of an
Creature Monster.
Yeah, Creature Monster. Yeah,
we took that from the old Frankenstein film, and it's quite nice. We've done it on most of the songs, I think.
You have. Yeah, it's a bit of a common theme, I think.
It just sort of gives the song a bit more of a different feel. I don't know, it sort of tells a bit more of a story and then goes into it a bit, and it just gives it something slightly different, a bit more.
So when you come on stage, then do you have a bit of an intro as you're walking out on stage normally?
Well, yeah, we do. We've got like a 30-second thing where we sort of stick all the intros into one, and then it's a bit of a build up. And actually, the Misfit Misplaced going into that, there's a little bit where it says Misfit Come Alive, that bit. That's actually my daughter who does that. So we've got a little video of her doing it. And so if we put a video up, then she turns up as well. So that's quite good. But it's we ideally what we were talking about doing. We've got a gig at the Dublin Castle in Camden, and that's like 21st of August on a Saturday. So that's a good little venue. We were thinking of maybe trying to do the album, from front to back, and sticking all the the effects in there and all the little clips, and just do the whole album, because we haven't. That's the thing now. We've had this album for over those 10 songs. We've had them for 2 years pretty much now, and we've not been. We've played most of them, but we haven't been able to play, sort of promote it as an album or anything like that. So that'd be quite good to do that.
Yeah, most bands don't tend to do that, do they? So I don't think I can remember. Maybe I think perhaps it was at Thin Lizzy, maybe, and they did one. But most bands tend to just like play a couple of songs here and there out of some EPs or out of some albums and stuff, and not necessarily play an album from start to finish.
Yeah.
Go on. Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say, it's mainly the older bands, isn't it?
That's exactly what I was just going to say.
It's sort of like 20-year anniversary of an album. They may do it then, but I think we're sort of doing it after the 2-year anniversary.
That's all right. That's good.
Yeah. Well, like you said, you haven't had a chance to perform it live, the whole album, so you might as well. You might as well try and do it. So, but I see the album's got some good reviews. Nominated for Best Album of 2021 by Therapy Through a Lens.
Yeah.
I don't know who Therapy Through a Lens are, but sounds like the Photographic magazine. It is,
it's actually a photographer. I think Michael Roach, his name is. He's actually a Welsh guy.
Okay.
But he's got his own. He runs his own sort of website and everything else, and he does all these reviews and things like that. So it's been really good actually, because I think, again, like with everyone being online, you get quite a few good connections, which you maybe miss people, ordinarily you wouldn't have maybe made those connections. So that's been a positive, really. But we've been getting some really good reviews. We had one in Australia, which has gone down quite well, which was nice. But it's nice when you get reviews and you haven't sort of asked for them. Every now and then you see one pop up, and it's like, oh, someone really likes that, and that's great. That's just like the icing on the cake, really.
Yeah. So what's this documentary you got coming out then?
Yeah, well, we're working on it at the moment. I've been talking about doing this since we started doing the band. Actually, I mean, it's going to be called Creating a Misfit, and it's actually probably going to be a lot of what we've been talking about, the mental health side of things, and how the band's sort of grown through a low point, and how we've now then gone through the pandemic, and how we've recorded the album. And then it's got a few clips here and there. We've got the guy who does our videos. I mean, that's been another bonus for us, really, is that we've managed to be able to do videos through lockdown, because Gareth, the guy who does it for us, he's can do everything from home pretty much. So every time we put a song out, or we put a video to go with it. So that's been really helpful. So he's going to help with the documentary, and it started off as like a sort of a 10-minute introduction to the band, really. But the way I've sort of gone about it now, it's sort of growing into a sort of full-length feature film now. It's like it's getting out of hand. So it's definitely going to come out. It'd be nice to sort of finish it with some footage from the first gig that we do back from the pandemic. So that's August. So hopefully, sort of September, October time, we'll be putting the documentary out. And it'll just be a history of where we've come from and how, like we say with the whole mental health thing. It's not. I mean, I've had my own issues, but Ange as well. He's had his issues, and it's just how we've used music as a bit of a, I suppose, a bit of a release, I suppose, from everyday life and just being able to be a misfit. You know, that's even the name of the band has come from that. It's come from not feeling like you fit in every in the normal way of life, and it's you just don't really fit in, and so it's good. It'd be good to sort of just get everything down. It's just documenting where we've sort of come from and where we're planning on going. But it should be good fun.
Cool. So how do you intend to release that?
We'll be on YouTube, but we're going to speak to a few other sort of production companies and TV companies as well, and just see if it's something that someone wants to put out as a short film. We're speaking to a few people about doing something like that. It's something that we want to put together ourselves. I mean, pretty much we've done everything with as the three of us, plus with Gareth, the guy with the video. Between the four of us, we've come from nothing, and then we've managed to put the album out. Obviously, we've had a producer come in as well, Dan Lucas. He's really good. But it's all been done ourselves. So anything we thought about doing, we've done it ourselves rather than going to other people. Like photo shoots, videos. The whole thing is that's the whole thing is asking ourselves if we don't think we can do something, is sort of saying, well, why can't we do it, and how can we do it? And that's sort of how we look at everything, really. I mean, we've sort of been looking at gigs at the moment, and one of the things we've sort of come across is that we don't. I think some places are looking at us as a punk band, some are looking at us as a rock band, and really we don't sort of fit into a genre as such. It's not like you can sort of say we're a rock, a proper British rock band, but we take, like we were saying earlier, take influences from everything. So that's quite interesting, trying to get gigs with some venues, because they've got certain bands they want to put in there. And then it's sort of where do we fit in the whole picture of music in general, really. And so we'll talk about that in the documentary as well. It's not a negative thing. It's just sometimes I think you just don't fit in. It's quite a nice way of looking at it, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe
it'll be the next Nirvana then.
That's it, isn't it?
They didn't fit in either, did they?
Exactly. Well, this is the thing. I think sometimes it's nice. Sometimes you have to sort of just do what you want to do, rather than being too calculated about things and sort of say, oh well, in a band, we need a record deal, we need to do this, we need to do that, you need to tour, you need to get so many followers or 1,000 likes or whatever. Maybe just not even worrying about those sort of things, and just doing what you want to do because you can do it, rather than for any other reason, and that's really what we're about. We're just doing it because we want to do it. That's like I say, about there's no money in it. There's no, we're not looking to become the next biggest band in the world. We're just enjoying ourselves. That's what I was thinking, because
with the documentary, you could release it as a bit of merch or something as well. So so when you go to gigs and everything, obviously you'll have your album to sell, but you could also maybe sell your documentary or follow it up with the album or something, perhaps.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean that'd be quite handy. On DVDs and stuff like that. I mean, we'll definitely sort of look at doing things like that. I mean, and again, it's the more stuff we can do ourselves for ourselves, sort of thing, the better, really, because then you're not relying on other people, or if you can do it with yourself, then that's great.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
That sounds good.
Very
good. I've checked out your songs, and the one When My Empire Falls, I really like that. And the video is pretty cool as well, because obviously it was filmed during lockdown, so it's something that once we're out of lockdown, you could be able to look back at that and think, man, how funny a time was that? Do you know what I mean?
Well, Well, that whole song was, I mean, it started off as quite a personal song, like, you know, my own empire falling, if you like. But then, yeah, when we came to record it for the album and do the video, obviously everyone's empire was falling down, you know. So it sort of took on a bigger sort of meaning, if you like. And it, yeah, and it really worked having London to ourselves, which was great. We could, yeah, we went up there one Saturday and just, I think it was Saturday, it was a weekend, Saturday or Sunday, and we just basically we went into the city and there was no one around. So we could do, yeah, we could get all these great shots, which you wouldn't normally be able to do. So yeah, it was good. That one's really, yeah, sort of worked out quite well.
Yeah,
really happy with that one.
Yeah, it's good.
It's weird as well, isn't it? When you're in that situation with no people around you, and
yeah, it's a bit
really
like
weird.
Yeah, have you seen 28 Days or something?
Yeah,
it's a bit like that. It's but without the werewolves and everything else running around.
Yeah, it's like the fucking what's that stupid program? What about the zombies?
Oh, Walking Dead or something.
Yeah. I was driving home from work one night.
That's immense, that is. That's an immense program.
It started off all right, didn't it? But then it went a bit, yeah.
Oh, we love it. Me and the missus love it. Yeah.
Is it still going? Is it still going?
There's a season 10, but we haven't watched it yet.
Oh, okay.
Because we don't like paying for things. So we'll got to come on Amazon or Netflix or whatever.
It's been on Netflix already.
Yeah, we got to pay for it.
No,
so season 1 to 9 is free, and then you got to pay for 10, I think.
Well, we didn't have to over here.
Didn't you?
No, it was just on.
Yeah.
I mean, we watched them all. But it's a pretty bad program, but
it's amazing.
We still watched them all.
What I was thinking of was I Am Legend with Will Smith. That was the same, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You know, where obviously the zoo animals have taken over part of the city as well. So
yeah. Yeah, that's a good film. But yeah, it definitely, it was a bit strange doing that.
Yeah,
with not a lot of people around. It was, it was a bit eerie, but
it is,
good shots. Yeah,
because you're walking through the tube as well, isn't it? Or the underground, London Underground as well, and you know, I've only been through the underground twice, and it's absolutely rammed. Normally.
Normally it is. Yeah. We were very lucky. We managed to get some seats on a tube, which like I say is you don't normally get.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's cool. No, it's a good song. That.
Thanks.
All right. I think we just about covered everything then.
Yeah.
About to do with your album and now obviously with your documentary.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I
don't know if you've got a story, Dave.
I haven't.
Well, I did see something on the news the other day about a man being swallowed by a whale.
Cool.
Did you see that?
Nope.
Well, this guy,
Pinocchio.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. But he actually got swallowed. He was out fishing for lobsters. He's an English guy, I believe. He was out fishing for lobsters, and he sort of like he must have fell overboard. And first of all, he thought he was going to get eaten by a shark. But then he realized that there was no teeth, and he thought, oh my God, I'm in the mouth of a whale, and this whale is trying to swallow me. So he was in there for like 30 or 40 seconds. And eventually, he started to come out. So, but luckily enough, I mean, like I said, he's not Pinocchio. So, but he might be actually, because he says he's also survived a plane crash that left him stranded in the Costa Rican jungle.
Oh, right.
And he's also had encounters with great white sharks and nearly getting lost on the open sea. So he's been around a bit, this guy, like.
He sounds it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's not the sort of person you want to bother with or go on holiday with, do you?
Is he like Chuck Norris or something? He's like,
But I mean, I don't know whether how these people make it up.
When he got swallowed by the whale then?
In the sea.
I know that, but which sea? Because we don't have many whales around here, do we?
Well, you live in Wales, you Wally.
I know that.
Let me tell you, I'll tell you now.
Because I don't know what sort of whales we get off our coastline, really.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me have a look.
So whether you have like a whale shark or something like that. But you do get sharks. I mean, they've seen makos off the south coast when it gets a bit warmer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've had makos off there, off the Cornish coast.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they have had sharks, but they're not dangerous sharks, are they?
Makos. I don't know. They're not nice.
No, I don't think they can eat you.
Yeah, well, pound for pound, I think they've got one of the hardest bites on them.
Oh, right. Are they quite big? Are they quite big sharks?
No, they're about the same size as a bull shark. I think they're about 9 foot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this guy was actually in Provincetown in Massachusetts.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
So they have sharks there, I guess.
Okay.
No.
But yeah. So yeah, so that's the only story I got. I mean, it was actually on the news here in Holland the other day. So.
Oh, right.
But yeah, that's the only one I got today. I haven't got any really weird ones, which is a shame.
Apart from the guest that we're going to be having on soon.
Yeah. That's going to be great. Okay. I'm not giving anything away on that.
I'll have to listen back and find
out. I've got a question for you, which is completely unrelated to music. We had somebody on this week, and he had a ghost experience.
Oh, okay.
I found very, very interesting, and the ears standing up on the back of my neck already. Have you had any experience with any like weird ghosts, or paranormal, or anything?
Funny you say that. We actually with Ange, our bass player, me and him years ago, we went on a ghost hunting trip. We went down to a fort down in Kent. I can't remember the name of it now, but it was with a proper group of ghost hunters. And we pulled into the car park, and Ange, he comes out. He says, "Oh, so this is where the Ghostbusters are meeting, then, is it?" And then, so from then, we weren't very popular.
Yeah.
And we didn't see much going on. There was an old guy, and I'm sure he was shaking the table. Like we all sitting around the table saying, "Is anyone there?" And then he's off. But I don't know. I definitely believe in it. I think there's something in it. I definitely think there's something in it, but I don't know.
I wouldn't necessarily say I believe in it, but you can't dismiss it. That's what I would say.
I agree with it. Yeah,
because like I said on the other show, you never say they're always looking for ghosts at night, and for some reason I don't know why, but surely you could have a ghost walking down the beach at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. There must be ghosts all around, if there are ghosts, because they never ever seem to catch one on camera.
Well, if I was a ghost, I'd be coming out in the day, and I'd be, like you said, I'd be sat on the beach. I wouldn't be coming out in a creepy old house that would frighten me. If I was a ghost, I'd want to go somewhere nice.
You want to go somewhere nice and somewhere relaxing, maybe a spa weekend somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, paintballing, I go.
Yes, it's a bit. It's always it's like these stupid programs on the TV, these ghost hunter programs. It's always at night, and it's always in a creepy place, and it's always like four guys with cameras. One of them disappears, and then the other ones are like, "Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Oh, did you hear that? Steve, where are you, Steve? Oh my God, did you hear that?" And it's like Steve's down there banging a couple of pots together. It's like, get over it.
I think the funny one. I don't know if you remember, what's his name? Derek Acora.
That's what he was talking about. Yeah.
Oh, it's hilarious. I don't. When he used to become possessed by the ghosts and start talking in different. There's something you got to watch on YouTube. It's Mary Loves Dick, and basically,
I'm a bit nervous about typing that into Google. I gotta be honest.
Look him up, Derek. He gets possessed by this ghost in a pub, and he just starts shouting out, "Mary loves Dick." It's brilliant.
Let's have a look at that.
It's so funny, but everyone's keeping a straight face, and he's just.
He's doing it, they? Because I remember watching a thing on Louis Theroux, and it was like a Christmas edition when he got all these nutcases together, and there was a guy who reckoned that he was talking to a cosmic being on, I think it was Mars or Neptune or something, and he'd like make this weird face, and he'd put on this voice and everything, and you can see Louis looking like, this other guy was looking, and then Louis was interviewing him and asking him questions. Oh man, I was crying. It was so funny. But this guy obviously believes, and he had followers as well, mind. Right. So we had people that. It reminded me a bit of like I was waiting for him to shout "Nanu Nanu" and stuff like out of Walker Mindy. It's so funny. It was really funny, but this was like an interplanetary being rather than a spirit.
Right. So I think that's the scary thing, isn't it? It's like the people who actually do it, but then the people who actually believe that person who's telling them that. I suppose that's it's quite scary.
Yeah.
It's like you get all these American televangelists who they all fly around in their own personal jets, and they're telling all these followers to send them money to pay for their jets. And you think, what? Serious? People believe it. It's just mind blowing.
Yeah, and they get you up on stage, you go like that, all over in your heel, and then they sell you Vaseline for $300 a tub with their face on. Yeah, who knows? Yeah,
it's bonkers, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I'm sure I've been suckered into stuff without even realizing it as well. Mine probably is bound to be like a little scam that I've come across in my life that I thought was legit. And
yeah, this is it. Well, I suppose that's the beauty. Well, not the beauty of it. That's the if you can convince people and sell them something that far out and get away with it, then I suppose that's
sneak oil.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and they do get away with it as well because it's fraud, isn't it? But
totally,
for fraud.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we were saying on it about the internet. I mean, it's all over the internet and it's all over Facebook and stuff. I mean, you know, like we said the other day, buy 300 million followers for a tenner, and increase your Spotify ranking by getting all these followers. You know, I mean, I get people messaging me on Instagram all the time because we've got a Just CHOPSING account on Instagram, and they says, "Oh, get in touch with me." Yeah, and I just say why. Yeah, and then they say, "So we can promote you. We'll promote your podcast." And then I look at their account, and they've got like 100 followers, and they're following 5,000 people.
Yeah,
you know, and it's like, well, if you can create your own account to a million people, how the fuck are you going to create my account to 1 million people?
We're not selling it. Yeah,
so it's like,
obviously, same sort of thing in a band, like with a band, we get bombarded by these, sort of,
podcast requests.
Yeah, those ones. Yeah, they're the worst, but no, but yeah, it's crazy, like, because you can, like, say you can buy so many streams or so many followers, and you just think, it's not worth it. I mean,
they're not real, are they? That's the trouble.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like we were saying earlier about like all the, when like you hear stories of like record companies just looking at bands with a certain amount of followers or certain amount of streams. And why does that even matter? Surely it's about the music. It's about what the band are doing rather than how many people are pretending to, or how many people they bought. It's it's a weird. It's all been, that's all a bit weird, really. Yeah, we wouldn't.
They obviously think if you've got 100,000 fake followers, they're going to make 100,000 fake pounds off you.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
Probably Bitcoin or something.
I've told you the secret to it, sir. We got to go on OnlyFans. That's the secret. That's the new thing, isn't it? I didn't even know what it was. I was asking my kids what it was, and they were like, "I haven't joined it. Have you done?" I was like, "No, but I just wondered what it was."
That's what I said to my girlfriend. If I was a woman, I'd have fucking millions of followers by now.
I'd be
my ass and my tits out everywhere.
That's it. You definitely promote us. You have to change it from Just CHOPSING. We want to call it something else.
Call it just arsing around.
Got off topic as usual.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, well, we have to go off topic, otherwise we wouldn't be just CHOPSING, would we?
No, that's right. That's right.
So what does that mean then? The CHOPSING, is that a Welsh thing?
Yes, it's actually a Welsh term for when two people are arguing.
Oh, right, okay.
So if somebody's arguing with you, say you CHOPSING, bud, and then basically it means are you arguing with me?
Oh, so, right. Okay.
But we sort of spun it to just having a chat,
having a natter.
Yeah. It's definitely better. It's definitely better than some of the South London sort of if you want to fight type sort of things that go on.
Well, we had that as well. We had the Cockney Rejects on the other day. So we learned all their lingo as well, didn't we?
Oh, excellent.
The doorstep challenge.
That's it.
No, they were a good pair of boys, actually.
Yeah, awesome. They were good fun.
So I don't know if they're from your neck of the woods, are they?
End.
Yeah, it's not too far. Not too far. Just around the other side, sort of southeast. Southeast. We're just sort of straight under London in Croydon there. So,
right.
Yeah, we're not too far from that.
Good. Yeah. All right then, mates.
Right.
Yeah. So get off. Get your dinner if you haven't already had it.
No. I think hopefully it's sitting there waiting for me.
I think your wife is eating it. I heard some knives and forks going off just a minute ago.
Yeah, probably. No, it's been really good. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I mean, you can always come back on and tell us when you've got something else to promote.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, we'll definitely keep in contact. Yeah, and as soon as like documentary's done and stuff, and any new videos, I'll chuck them your way as well. We should hopefully have a couple more. So,
all right, cool. Yeah, we'll promote it all. Just
brilliant.
give us your socials and stuff, and then
yeah, definitely.
we'll stick it all on the Facebook.
Fantastic.
And nonsense.
Yeah,
check out the Patriot.
Check out the
Patriot.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to try and get down there.
Yeah,
that'd be good. Right. Excellent.
All right, thanks for joining us, Steve.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me on.
And we look forward to some more music from you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll catch up soon.
Yeah, thanks, man. I like it.
Right. Take care, mate.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. Ta-da.
Cheers. Bye now.
Hello.
Oh.
Go on, press it. Don't be afraid to press it. It's not going to go in your finger.
Here we are. No, it's still not. Oh, this first time I've used this phone. I don't know what's going on it.
What sort of phone is it?
Here we go. Found it. Right. I'll see you later.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra.
Definitely going now. See you later.
Ta-ra. I thought he was going to steal me on there. Yeah, that was nice. That took a bit of a turn as well. Mental health.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, it was good. It was good. It's nice to another person that's you know, they've been through it and come through the other side a bit like David. So that's
yeah,
good. But obviously you never get over it. It's part of your makeup. Afterwards, you just learn to manage it, don't you? That's what
you do. Yeah, that's all. That's you learn to cope, don't you?
Yeah, that's right.
You build a better coping mechanism in yourself, and then. But you know, you can go the wrong way as well. I mean, I've gone the wrong way a few times where I end up just not giving a fuck. Do you know what I mean? And that's not the right way either. You know, you go too far the other way, and then it's like, fucking hell, you know, I'm going a bit wrong here. I mean, I can walk. Like, if something goes wrong in my life, I can just walk away from it, you know. And I don't look back either. I'm off, which is really not a way to deal with things.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I don't know where I got that from. That's sort of like ingrained in me, I think. But maybe that's something to do with my mother being married a few times and not fighting for stuff. And
I don't know.
I don't know. It's a weird one. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't know. These boots were made for walking, I think. Sometimes they're like fucking hell.
Well, that's the thing, we're all different, isn't it? And we all react differently to things as well. And you know, sometimes we react in a way that perhaps we wouldn't do if we sat down and thought about it. Or maybe we still would. You know what I mean? It's
yeah, well I do. You know, I can't say I do, but I have done it. You know, I've thought about it and still walked. So yeah.
But it's right for you at the time. Do you know what I mean? So
well, it is. It has to be, doesn't it? You know, otherwise you wouldn't do it, would you?
Oh, that's right.
You know, and like I said, you can't live life with regrets.
No.
You know, about stuff that you've. What am I meant to say? Don't regret stuff that you haven't done. I think. Don't regret stuff that you haven't. No, don't regret. Oh, I can't fucking remember now. But it was something about regretting. Don't regret stuff. You know, don't regret stuff that you've done. Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. It'll come back to me. But yeah, all right.
You can't take it back. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the other thing as well, you know, and that's really how I think now is like, well, what's done is done.
Yeah.
You know, you could, if you've done something bad, you can apologize for it, or if you've done, you know, but you can't go backwards.
No, you can't go backwards. And the thing is, you know, if you've done something that you shouldn't have done and you've upset somebody, you can try and explain it away. And if they forgive you, happy days. But if they don't, you can't.
No, and you can't change people's minds for them either.
No, you can't. No.
You know, once they've made their mind up, I mean, that's just the fucking way life is, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
And just unfortunately, there is no rewind button on it, and
no,
you just have to live with the consequences, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, not that we want to get really deep into this sort of stuff at the moment.
Oh, it's all right now. It's all good, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't want people. I mean, we just come off quite a funny podcast, and
Yeah.
now we're going to stick it in the toilet.
Upset everybody.
But I'm going to give people our socials, which is justchopsing.com, and you can go on there and you can see everybody's interview. All you have to do is click on the guest name. If you don't really want to click on the guest name, you can go to the top right-hand corner and you can see the little television screen for YouTube, the little Spotify link, or a couple of other links, Apple Podcasts or wherever links are on there. Twitter is on. Oh no, it's Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube. That's the links, I believe. So if you don't want to scroll through the names, just click on and then you can go wherever you want.
Yeah.
That's on justchopsing.com. Obviously, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube and Facebook is Just Chopsing, I believe. Or if you just Google it, it comes up with everything anyway. Just Chopsing.
Yeah, some are Just Chopsing podcasts, some are Just Chopsing. Yeah.
So yeah,
get on there and check us out.
Yeah, get on there, subscribe, like, do what you can, and you never know. I mean, by the time this podcast comes out, we would have hit 50 subscribers on YouTube, so somebody will have won a prize.
Yeah.
And let's get towards 100, and then somebody will win another prize, or not another prize, but somebody will win. Is that right? Is that good English? Somebody will win a prize, not another prize, not the same person.
No,
hopefully.
Different prize. Or win a prize as well. And all.
Yeah,
2.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah, the 100th subscriber may win a prize.
Yeah.
All right then, mate.
Yeah, it could be my Mercedes C350 if I can't sell it, because it's currently on Facebook Marketplace. So
is it? Raffle it.
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe we can do a raffle. How much do you want for it?
Oh, too much probably. That's the trouble, I think.
I don't know. If it's on Facebook, you might as well tell us.
I put it on for 4, but they're super rare, so I might end up just having to get a shot of it. Because it's only because I'm bored of it. There's nothing wrong with it. I just fancy.
What is it? SLK?
No,
CLK.
no, it's a coupe.
Oh, 2-door.
Yeah, 278 brake, but it's automatic. So I just fancy a change because it's fun, but I just want to start changing gears again. And
yeah, okay. All right, so David might, and we might end up, how much should we sell tickets for? 25 quid a ticket?
That's it, yeah. Could we? And then
we could do, and then if it's not met, say all right, this is what we'll do, right? We'll put a standard ticket sale on it. So we need to get to, say, 3,500. And if we get to 3,500 in sales of raffle tickets, we'll raffle it.
Yeah.
So if how much, I don't know, 25 quid?
Yeah, and then, but we only take the 25 quid if we reach the 3.5 grand. That's fair then, isn't it?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, otherwise I'll be driving around in an S2000.
Well, I want half of that, so you won't be. I never thought of that. Well, that's what we could do then. We could do a pledge. We could pledge a raffle ticket, and we'll pledge your money back if we don't hit 3.5 grand.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
That sounds cool.
All right, we'll have to organise it. I mean, this podcast, by the time this podcast goes out, it can't be sold anyway. But...
I thought I was going to be part X because I'll just get bored of waiting.
That might be a good idea.
Yeah.
You might have interest from all over the world.
Never know. I'm not posting, I'm not paying for postage and packaging. I'm going to have bubble wrap for that.
You have to send it in a container.
I have to break it down in bits.
To Australia.
Send it in small parcels.
Then get immigrants. I better not say that. I could put it in a dinghy and get the immigrants to row it over for you.
Oh God.
Have you seen that? Oh, we're going to ramble a minute. Have you seen Greece? Not Greece the movie, Greece the country are turning immigrants back. No,
I don't watch the news very often.
Yeah, it's on the news. It was actually on the BBC News. They're turning immigrants back, and it's apparently this part of the charter where you've got to let immigrants in. So, they're sending the gunboats out, and they're saying, "Do not come into this country," and because they're fucking overrun with them, aren't they? Greece. It's a shocking.
I know.
But I don't see why you have to take them in, to be honest. I mean, they all claim asylum, but they're not really genuine asylum seekers. The majority of them.
Yeah, it must be. You must be in a really, really bad situation to have to leave your home with your family, with virtually what you got on your back, and move to another country. The thought of
no, it's not moving to another country. What they're doing is, say they're in Syria and they're getting blown up, right?
Yeah.
You could understand if they went to Turkey or somewhere close by, Iran, Iraq. But they're not. They're going to fucking England. Yeah, or they're going to Greece. They're crossing 6 countries to get where they're going.
But I get that. If you're in like a war-torn country, why would you want to move to a potentially another war-torn country? You'd want to.
No, you're not moving to another war-torn country. You're moving to a country that's the first point of refuge, not the fucking 5th point.
Yeah, I wouldn't move to England.
No, I wouldn't either, to be honest.
But yeah, that's all I'm saying is, to be kind of like in that situation, it must be because I just couldn't think of.
No, you know what I'm saying, don't you? I understand the point that you get into a desperate situation and you need to leave your country because you're going to get blown up or you're going to get murdered and your village is going to get pillaged. But you go to the nearest point of refuge.
Well, Freddie Mercury didn't. His family moved from Zanzibar, didn't they? Yeah. Zanzibar. So they moved from Zanzibar and moved to England. And that I can't remember whether that was kind of like because they were going through they were war torn at the time or whatever. I can't remember. But they moved to England as a result of it.
But they were Indians.
No, Zanzibar is. I think
it's in India, isn't it?
No, I think it's on in Africa somewhere. It's the east coast of Africa, I think.
Is it?
I think so. I'm gonna have to Google it now. This is proper gone random. This one, I haven't never Google. It's the first time I've ever Googled it. Zanzibar. Oh, Tanzania. Yeah, which is off the coast of East Africa, I believe. I'm just zooming out now.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's off the coast of, so it's part of Tanzania, I believe, which is off the east coast, but it's a small island, it is.
Okay. How the fuck did they get to England?
I don't know. But
on an airplane.
I remember I think he said I can't remember if they moved there before he was born, or I think he had been born and he was a young child at the time, I believe.
Well, actually, we can ask our next guest because she's actually written Freddie Mercury's autobiography. Okay. Biography, I should say, not autobiography.
Yeah.
She's written his biography, so we can ask her, make a note of it before we forget. How did they end up in England?
Yeah, I Wikipedia'd it. I did it. I'm always the same. I watched the movie and then I just get a bit interested in the sort of like the backstories and stuff. But I think they did explain it during the movie actually. But I wasn't 100% certain where Zanzibar was either. So I looked into it then.
Okay. All right. So maybe we should do a come in next section just to finish the episode off.
Go on,
So come in the next episode will be author Leslie Ann Jones. Look at my book there. Leslie Ann Jones, and she's written biographies on David Bowie, Freddie Mercury, and she's just written a new book called Who Shot John Lennon, or Who Killed John Lennon, I should say, not Who Shot Him. We all know who fucking shot him. Who killed him. And yeah, we'd be interested to dive into her brain a little bit on the next episode. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think we need to be doing this. Well, let's cut this off. All right, I'm going.
I need some food.
Right, that's right.